traditionally, some people often are a little bit apprehensive about turning to HR with their issues. How has Praetura tried to change employees' perspective of that and build trust?
Yeah, my name's Kate. I am the group people and talent partner for Praetura Group. We're a financial services business based across the Northwest. And we have sort of two streams to our business, debt and lending, and also venture capital as well. Yeah, I think one of the reasons I sort of stuttered on my job title there is because it's recently changed. So that is what one of the things that we've done is sort of try and change that perception of HR and create a real people environment. And changing our roles from sort of the traditional HR type job titles to people partners has been part of that journey. So yeah, it's really old-fashioned sort of hire and fire approach when we talk about that traditional side of HR, and we've definitely tried to move away from that. Especially in a finance industry, which can have that sort of old-fashioned traditional concept, which we've really tried to move away from. I think the biggest thing that we've tried to do is connect and really show the human side of HR. And COVID's had a massive impact on that because during those times we were the go-to people, and that's really had a shift across the whole of HR and people departments across all industries. But to sort of further build on that, I think listening and connecting. We do a lot of engagement groups. We have a task force who we ask to provide us with feedback and how are we doing, and what are the sorts of things that from a cultural perspective or from a trust perspective people want us to be doing. We really go back to the floor. We work with people. We connect across all levels. We're hands-on. We're in and amongst it. There's no office anymore where you're sort of locked away and in a separate room. And we do all of those things to try and create a sense of trust and remove any barriers. I think leading with transparency is hugely important. A lot of the work that we do in HR or people areas is confidential. There's things that we can't talk about, and there's things that are moving all of the time. But we try to lead with transparency and being as open as we can be where possible to really try and build that trust with the teams. We have policies that talk about those things. When we first introduced a lot of our people policies, we thought, well, we're a small business. We don't need all of these hundreds of policies. Surely people don't need to know this because we're a small business. And of course we do, we do that, or we support in this area. Of course, we're looking to be more diverse, but we definitely know now that as a growing business and a scaling business, we've gone from sort of 60 people to 160 people in the past few years, and we need to be explicit. And people need to know from day one that we are supportive and that we will help where we can, and that we have every intention to be an inclusive and diverse employer.
Great. Thanks so much, Kate. That's really interesting. I think especially thinking about like those in-person cultural changes that you can make, like not having an office with a closed door, transparency policies. Yeah, really interesting. Thank you so much. So Kombo, we're going to come on to you now. And so and Kate talked a little bit about the kind of shift to being a people team, and that's something you already have in place. So tell us a bit about your role and how you work as a senior people partner.
Yeah, sure. So it's as exactly as Kate said, in terms of kind of humanizing the role. So when I first joined SafetyCulture in April, it was the first time that they had a in-person people partner within the EMEA team. So the kind of first elements of my role were all about dismantling any fears that a lot of the team had, because it was they're quite junior employees. So for some of them, it was the first time that they had ever worked with HR, and it was getting rid of the kind of stigma of HR Sally or kind of being HR police. And a key element of that for me was just about demonstrating curiosity and appreciation of the culture that they had already created, and talking about kind of their priorities in terms of customers, getting as close to an understanding around their kind of ambitions with customers as well. I spent a lot of time, rather than just having a desk that I was sat at, I spent time shadowing different teams. So spent time just hot desking around the different areas. I did a little bit of a presentation when I first joined to kind of show a little bit about myself, my passions, my interests. So kind of leading with that authenticity was a really important element of that. And then in terms of the role of that senior people partner, it's essentially being the HR business partner. So again, just getting as close to the business as possible, getting as close to the priorities for people as possible, and just demonstrating the value add that the function can have in terms of enabling people to do excellent work, getting rid of the noise as we scale, ensuring that we are safe as an organization, and just considering certain elements of diversity and inclusion that we hadn't necessarily started to explore a little bit more. So yeah, that's been kind of my role here at SafetyCulture.
Great, thank you.